More than 70% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck, not because they're lazy, not because they don't care, but because they were never taught how money truly works. We grow up learning how to solve algebra equations, memorize historical dates, even dissect frogs in biology class. But somehow no one ever teaches us how to manage our money, the very thing we'll use every single day of our lives. And so, we grow up blind. We get our first paycheck and spend it before it even arrives. We swipe credit cards without knowing how interest works. We buy things we don't need to impress people we don't even like. And slowly, quietly, we fall into a trap. A cycle of survival, not progress. But here's the truth they never told us. You don't need to be a financial expert. You don't need to win the lottery. You don't even need to earn six figures. What you need is clarity. What you need is discipline. What you need are 5 simple habits, ones that can change everything. Welcome to Spark of Finance, the place where we ignite your path to financial freedom, one smart decision at a time. Let's begin. The truth is, most people don't lose the game of money because of one big mistake. They lose it slowly, quietly, through small decisions made every day without awareness. A cup of coffee here, an impulse buy there, a subscription they forgot they had. And before they know it, they're broke, confused, and wondering where all the money went. That's why the first habit is awareness. You must learn to track your money, not in your head, not kinda sorta knowing, but really knowing where every dollar comes in and where it goes out. Because what you track, you control, and what you ignore controls you. Start small. Use an app like Mint, or just open a spreadsheet. Write down everything you spend in a week. No judgment. It's not about guilt. It's about clarity. Because once you see your spending patterns, you can start to shape them. And when you do that, you gain power, real power. The second habit is protection. Because even with good habits, life throws curveballs. And if you're not ready, one emergency can wipe out years of progress. That's why you need an emergency fund. Imagine this, you're driving home from work and the check engine light comes on. You take it in, $1,200 repair. You sigh and swipe the credit card again. Now imagine instead, you breathe deeply. You open your emergency fund and calmly pay the bill without stress, without guilt, without falling further into debt. That's the difference a small fund makes. That's peace of mind. That's dignity. Start with $1,000. It might take a few months. That's okay. Because every dollar you save is a dollar protecting your future. And over time, you build it to 3 to 6 months of expenses. Not to spend, but to stand. The third habit is growth. Because saving money is not enough. If saving is protecting your past, then investing is claiming your future. And no, you don't need thousands to start. You don't need Wall Street suits or a finance degree. You just need to start with what you have. Even $50 a month into a simple index fund, like the S&P 500, can become thousands over time. Because of something powerful called compound interest. Think of it like planting a tree. You don't see much at first. It looks small, fragile, maybe even pointless. But day by day, it grows. Until one day it provides shade, shelter, security. That's what investing does for your future self. So don't wait. Plant the tree now. The fourth habit is freedom from weight, and that weight is called debt. I'm not talking about a mortgage or strategic loans. I'm talking about high-interest debt, the kind that smiles when you swipe and stabs when you sleep. Credit card debt is one of the most toxic traps in modern life. It convinces you that you can afford more, while silently draining your future. You don't need shame. You need a plan. Start with the snowball method. Pay off the smallest balance first, gain momentum. Or use the avalanche method. Tackle the highest interest rate first. Whichever path you choose, stay consistent. Every payment is not just paying off debt. It's reclaiming your peace. It's saying, I will not be owned by my past. And now the fifth habit, the habit that changes everything. Even the first 4, upgrade your mindset, because the most powerful financial tool you'll ever have is the way you think. You see, rich people don't just have more money, they see money differently. They talk about it differently. They treat it with respect, not fear. They learn, they read, they ask, they act. Money is not evil. Money is not magic. Money is simply a mirror. It reflects your habits, your beliefs, your choices. So choose wisely. Start reading one financial book a month. Start watching content that educates, not just entertains. Start asking new questions while really like, what would my future self thank me for? Because when you change how you think about money, you don't just grow richer, you grow wiser. 5 habits, simple but not easy, powerful but often ignored. These are the foundations of a life lived on purpose, not by accident. A life of financial dignity, of freedom, of choice. And it all starts now, not next week, not after the holidays. Now, because your future is waiting, and it won't wait forever. So if this message spoke to you, take one small action today. Hit that subscribe button. And if you're ready for the next step, watch the next video. How to budget like a millionaire, even if you're broke. Because knowledge is power, but applied knowledge changes lives. This is Spark of Finance, and today the spark has been lit as